What's going on, guys? My name is Ghost and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to kill Seath The Scaleless. But before we do that, you are going to want to pick up one item. We're right here at the Undead Merchant in the Aqueduct by Firelink Shrine. And what you want to pick up is, let's see, right here, Purging Stone, 6,000 souls. You only need one of them, hopefully. I don't know why you'd need more than one. So what a Purging Stone does is it reduces curse buildup and breaks curse. So if you get cursed, which is really bad, and you will see that here in a little bit, this will cure it for you, and it'll nullify the effects. Now if you don't have a Purging Stone and you do get cursed, it's not the end of the world, but it will make your life significantly more difficult. You can, of course, go get the Purging Stone at any time, even after you've been cursed, and you can also go down to Anor Londo Ruins and talk to Ingward. He's the guy wearing the crimson robes on the roof down there, and he will also be able to get rid of your curse. Problem is, with both of those methods, if you don't have a Purging Stone with you, you have to make your way all the way back down from the Duke's Archives, which are way up there, all the way back down here, either to that merchant there or down to Anor Londo. And it's really just a giant pain, so take this with you before you go. Now, to get to the Duke's Archives, go to Anor Londo first. Here we are. Now, real quick, just so you guys know, this is a Firekeeper, and if you kill her, you will obviously get a Firekeeper soul. That's going to make this bonfire unusable. However, you really don't need to do anything else in Anor Londo at this point, and you probably have the Princess Chamber bonfire as well, which is closer to the giant blacksmith, and that's probably the only other thing that you need around here. So at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and kill her and take the extra Firekeeper soul, because better Estus is better. So there we go, and as you can see, can't use the bonfire anymore. You can, of course, wait until you're done with the Duke's Archives to do that. Really not a big deal, but I decided to do it now. Anyways, just follow along where I'm going and run this way. So here we are at the entrance. You might remember this from that cutscene when you placed on the Lord Vessel. There used to be a golden gate blocking this way. Now there are a couple of boars you have to deal with, which is quite frustrating. Here we got the Fangboar helm. Of course, there's another one around the corner though. That one nice and easy. So go ahead and grab this bonfire. Now unfortunately you cannot warp to this bonfire. You can only warp to the next one that we'll get. So that's why, like, if you need to leave for any reason, especially like to grab that Purging Stone or whatever, cool, now I have 3 Fangboar helms. You might want to just leave Anor Londo alone, not kill that Firekeeper until later. But I'm pretty confident that I don't need to go back there for anything. So go ahead and go up this elevator. Now at the top, we're gonna encounter some like crystal hollows, I'm gonna call them. I'm not sure what the actual name is. They're just like regular hollows, to be honest with you, but they are crystallized, which means they hit pretty absurdly hard. And you can see back there is a channeler who's of course going to buff them, and really this whole area is just gonna be a nightmare. So let's get to it. Try to avoid the one with the bow up there. Just Don't swing the weapon then, that's fair. Just try taking one at a time, avoid their attacks at all costs. They're not so bad when they're not buffed, just like regular hollows, but when they are, they do a lot of damage. That golem right there has to do with entering the DLC. I'm just going to leave that alone for now, though. We have enough to cover in this episode. So there's another one off to the left there. There are a few on the stairs. There's some up top. This whole area kind of sucks. So we're going to take it one at a time. Get out of the way of that channeler first. There he goes. He's vulnerable while he's buffing, so... And we one-shot him. That works just fine. So... Like I said, quite a few on the stairs here. And again, I'm not going to show you like every single item and all that, but we're just going to kind of take it easy and make our way through here. This guy's real tanky. Not enough though. Grab a quick soul right there. These guys will have bows. Honestly, I'm not even going to deal with them. This guy up here, not really a threat. And go ahead and click this lever. You are invincible while you're pulling it, so don't worry about getting hit. And while you're not pulling it, you're not so invincible. Now there is something called the Duke Skip. As you can see, those like balconies as we were coming up this way. What you can do is you can pull this lever, or wait, maybe it's this one. You pull one of the levers, and then you drop. It's this one. It's this one. I remember. So as the elevator's falling, you roll and you try to land on this railing here, and then as the elevators go down, you roll like while you're standing on top of this railing onto one of those balconies down there. It saves you a lot of trouble. It skips an entire section of this area, like the biggest section of it. But I kind of suck at it, so if you're interested in that, you know, go ahead and look that up. But it is really easy to die while you're doing it, so we're gonna go the normal way. And the normal way kind of sucks too, honestly. This is Crystal Knight in here. He kind of is really slow, fat rolls, so he's not a huge threat, but he is wearing crystal gear, so he is a formidable opponent. Not formidable enough though. No drops from him, just 3,000 souls. Just go ahead and make your way up to the top of these stairs. Nothing else on the way, no surprises except this guy that I completely forgot about. Couple of twinkling titanite, there you go. And here we go, the boss fight. So, I was trying to think of some clever way to do this. You're going to die. There's no way to like beat the boss right here. He's gonna curse you, and when you wake back up, you're gonna be cursed. You're gonna feel the effects of that. And if you haven't been cursed yet, the only other place in the game that I think you could have been cursed is in the depths. But here you go. While cursed, your HP is halved. Lifting the curse requires a purging stone or the aid of the healer in Anor Londo, as I said earlier in this video. So all you gotta do is just grab that purging stone, use item. There we go. Back to normal. Now let's see. You gotta light that. I don't believe you can warp out of here, if I remember correctly. Bonfire is cut off from the others. So you're pretty much stuck here. Now to get out and kill this guy through the gate, grab the cell key and make your way out. Now this cutscene's gonna play, kind of hinting at what you need to do. He's gonna pull that. It's gonna activate this music thing. Looks like a record player. It might be, I don't know. And these guys are gonna flood out of this cage. These guys are otherwise pretty passive, but they hate that song. It makes them just want to kill everything they see. So now you gotta just make your way down these stairs and try to shut off that music. There's some serpent people on the way. He's just gonna ignore us, I guess. Make your way down. About halfway down, you're gonna actually run into those squid things. They're kind of terrifying looking. Not too heavy with the HP, but I believe they have a grab attack. You don't want to get hit by that. Obviously, you don't want to get hit by anything they do. It seems like maybe, well, there's a spit there. I usually just run by these guys, to be honest with you, and it's totally doable. But since I'm kind of trying to explain things as I go, sometimes I need a little bit more room to breathe. There's kind of in a mosh pit over here. So go ahead and make your way past them and go up this ladder right here. Took a little bit of damage there, no big deal though. There are 3 serpents up here, I believe. Serpent men, people. Lock on, there we go. The one in the back is one of the lightning casters, so try to use this pillar to block that. And those guys down there obviously can't climb ladders, so you're totally safe to fight these guys up here. Pull the lever, and we're good. Nice and quiet. Archive Tower Giant Door Key. Now that's going to be used on the door all the way at the top of the stairs. Only reason I didn't show that off before is because there's really no reason to waste your energy running up there if you can't unlock it yet. Like I said about the music though, that's what makes these guys aggressive. Otherwise they're just kind of chilling in there. Nothing to worry about. Now I'm going to speed this up and just meet you guys at the top of the staircase because it's really far up there. So once you made your way to the top of this giant spiral staircase all the way from the bottom there, go ahead and go up this equally large ladder. Not equally large, but it's still just kind of too big. And you want to go through this doorway. Now I was kind of testing out some stuff up ahead, so that doorway will of course be locked by a lock that requires that key that we just picked up at the bottom. But go ahead and open it. There's this guy off to the right. There's an archer off to the left, so try to kill him as quickly as possible so the archer doesn't pop you. Now as you go up here, there's actually another hollow straight off to my left. Try to bait him out. If you can't block this guy, his arrows are pretty slow, so pretty easy to dodge. Just go off to the left, it's being kind of difficult. There we go. So again, they're basically just like normal hollows. They don't have a lot of health, so I'm just going to wait for the next arrow, kill him, and then get my shield back up. All comes down to timing, which is kind of how this whole next area will go. So make your way inside. There is a channeler up there. There will also be a channeler right here. Now this one will teleport if you don't kill him instantly, so I'm gonna see if I can get him to walk over this way. Alright, he's gonna buff all the enemies, so honestly, he's just pissed me off at this point, so we're just going to get rid of him. Now, down there, that balcony is where we're aiming for. There's a bonfire down there, but to get there, we need to get to this doorway, or gateway you can see straight ahead of me on the opposite side there. In order to do that, we're going to need to figure out this whole stair situation. So, those stairs are leading down there, which means we need to make it up that way. So, to do so, go ahead and follow this path I'm taking. Another archer and of course another enemy off to the right here. Try to bait him out, or just use the pillar to block the arrows and kill him the old-fashioned way. Run up on this guy, take him out as well, and now we find some of these stairs. Now these will take us to the upper deck, but we don't want to go to that side, we want to go to this side behind us. So go ahead and turn this wheel right here, and it'll flip us around, no problem. Go up to the top. There is an archer that's going to kind of try to snipe you, but you can share with him your thoughts on that by hitting him in the face with a weapon. Another archer here, and another one way down the way. I don't know if he has a bow or not actually off the top of my head, but he is down there nonetheless. So for some reason turning that wheel actually turns this staircase down here as well. So it's now facing the wrong way. And of course, don't forget about the channeler. While we're up here, by the way, I should mention that there are some chests scattered around here. So if you're looking for some loot, just explore these levels one at a time. Other than this channeler here, all you really got to worry about is these hollow archers. Not the biggest deal in the world. So what we're going to do is drop down here. Try to time it so that he doesn't hit you with a missile the second that you drop. So like kind of drop right when he's about to cast, and then run up here, and you can use that railing to block him. Turn this handle. As with anything else that you interact with this game, you get invincibility frames while you're using it, so don't worry about getting hit then. After that, try to use the railing again to block him. If not, use a shield, roll, whatever you gotta do. There's another archer right here. If you hop on this ladder and then hold down your dodge button, whatever console you're on, or platform, you can actually slide down the ladder and you'll avoid his arrows. So I let him just kill me on the ladder. That's why my souls were there. Again, I told you I was kind of experimenting with some stuff in this area. So now this is the way forward. There is a chest right there. It's a mimic, as you can see by the chain and the messages. This one is not a mimic, however, so we'll go ahead and open that. Get the channeler set. In here we have another chest. As you can see by the chain, regular chest, not a mimic. You get a blue titanite chunk. And right here, we are clearly on the other side of a false bookcase. If you couldn't tell, you have not watched enough movies. That's going to move out of the way, allowing us to get over to this balcony I pointed out earlier and rest of the bonfire. Now this bonfire, unlike the last one that we discovered, the last two rather, you can actually warp to and from. So at this point, you've made it to a safe space, and you can go back to Firelink, go back to any blacksmiths you need to, do whatever you gotta do. I can probably level up actually, so I'm gonna do that real quick. I've been trying since the Gaping Dragon episode to show you guys the Dragon King Great Axe, so I'm just kind of leveling up my strength for no other reason but that. That being said, actually I am going to kindle this bonfire. And there we are. Now, to move on, we're going to go back into this room that we were just in. Right over this way. I suppose we can kill that mimic too. Whoops. There we go. Real sloppy. And he drops an enchanted falchion. Go ahead and pull this lever. It's going to drop down this suspicious looking floor panel. Turns into a staircase. There's one enemy right there. Don't let him sneak up on you. And a fog gate. While you're going through that, he would have time to run up behind you and probably knock you off this ledge. So don't let him do that. Head down the ladder, and I honestly like to just kind of run by these golems, and I'm going to do the same in this situation. I honestly think that this whole area that we're going through right now, called the Crystal Caves, is a lot more manageable if you just kind of go through running through everything. I'm not sure why that said matchmaking failed. Maybe someone tried to invade me. So far, it's pretty simple. You have plenty of room to walk. Pretty clear which way you're supposed to be going, but that's going to change here in a moment. So, since I have golems behind me, I'm gonna point out some details in a moment here instead. So you can see it's like dust falling down. It's making this like sparkling noise and everything. And if you come over here, you can see it landing on something that you can't really see. So there is actually an invisible bridge here. That guy's still hunting me down. While I'm here, I should mention these moonlight butterflies are non-hostile. They're completely passive, so you don't have to mess with them at all. Is he gonna jump down here? I really don't think he will. I think he's just testing me. Well, no, he's completely terrified. So just run straight across. Really, you can see where these things are landing. Anywhere they're landing, you can walk. So you can kind of slip on this bridge here, which is kind of frustrating, but you want to just kind of get by that guy however you see fit. Sometimes he'll leap at you. You can just go between his legs, drop down here, and again it runs straight across. It's pretty terrifying, and we've been invaded. Hopefully we can get to the boss fight before he catches up to us. I'm not really sure. I haven't been invaded in this area before actually, so I'm not really sure where the phantoms spawn. Now, these guys will follow you into the boss fight. Usually only one, maybe two, if it's your first time through here. So, since I have a phantom tailing me right now, I'm going to go ahead and just head in here. I guess he returned home, so we're good now. Try to take him out. It'll make your life a little easier. You don't really want to deal with these guys and the boss at the same time. The boss fog right here, like where it said that he returned home, this is where the boss fog will be from now on if you do die in this fight. That summon sign there was a player. There are no NPCs for this boss fight. So without further ado, let's get started. Oh, hold on. Oh yeah, purging stones. So this is Seath The Scaless. Obviously, we have met him already, and you probably want a little bit of revenge. His most dangerous attack is actually the one that we've seen already, where he just sprays curse right in front of him. He's about to do it. It literally only goes in front of him though, so anywhere else, you are safe from that. You are not safe, however, from the tail slam frenzy, or the tail swipes. Those are like the main 3 attacks he has. If you can dodge all those, you're pretty much set. I like to fight him anywhere but in the front because I don't like being cursed. I usually don't have a whole lot of purging stones with me. Now that that's out of the way, before you actually start fighting him, I almost forgot, you have to hit this crystal, otherwise he is invincible. That's gonna kind of stun him for like 2 seconds. Not really enough to do anything with. You can cut off his tail. It has to be the middle one though. I'm going to try to do that in this fight. Here comes the tail slams. I actually just survived that. So as you can see, if you get hit by that, especially the middle tail, I don't even know if I should call the left and right one's tails. He's kind of a freak show. But it does a lot of damage. Now this fight, one of the methods I like to use sometimes is the same thing with the 4 kings basically, where you go in with Havel's armor, heaviest you got, and hopefully something with some curse resistance, and you kind of just try to tank it. As you saw there, he has an AoE. That is the only way that the curse can actually reach you if you are not in front of him, but it's pretty easy to see coming. And as long as you're not backed into a corner, it's not a huge threat. You'll have room. Going for more curse breath again. To try to get a hit on his tail again. It is quite difficult to cut off, so if you want this weapon, I recommend focusing like 100% of your damage on his tail. Here we go again. Try to get another hit. So try to keep him kind of like in the middle so you have room to go around the outsides of him. That way you don't get caught like that in the middle of his breath. I really had like nowhere else to escape to. So since he's kind of hugging the right side of the arena, I'm gonna go left. Hopefully make it out of range. Looks like we're pretty much good. Kind of bugging out with the tails right now. I'm gonna try to lure him back into the middle a little bit there. That's better. And try to get back into our ideal spot for the damage. Getting pretty low here. He does have some front swipes like that. Honestly, like, I don't see him like ever using that, so here comes some spikes. Looks like we're alright. They despawn pretty quick, which is good. But if you do have any armor that resists curse, I recommend using in this fight just to avoid catastrophe. I don't think we're gonna end up getting the tail here. You might have to focus your attacks more towards the tip of the tail. Again, I don't usually go for it. It is a magic weapon though. I will talk about it after this boss fight. Unfortunately, did not get it. But it is the Moonlight Greatsword. It's actually been in every single Dark Souls game. I believe there's even a version in Bloodborne. So, kind of an iconic weapon, and if you played other Dark Souls titles, again, like I just said, you might recognize it. But after this, I'll go into some more in-depth talk about it, so you can get a feel for whether or not you might want to try to get that. So I did this fight on another character. Unfortunately, the recording just was not working, so I don't have footage of me cutting off the tail. But you do have to go for the middle tail, like I said, and you have to cut towards the tip of it. Do not cut towards the base like I was doing, or the middle like I was doing. Cut as far back, the smallest part of the tail as possible. Like I said, it will give you the Moonlight Greatsword. Now the Moonlight Greatsword is actually really cool. It's a greatsword type weapon, but it does pure magic damage, and it's 4 magic builds. So it takes 16 strength to wield, 10 dexterity, and 28 intellect, and it actually scales with intellect. So if you are using a caster, using sorceries, that's going to be your main stat anyways, so you really don't have to invest hardly anything into it other than that 10 strength, or 16 strength rather, and 10 dexterity. All the way up to 40 intelligence. Every single point of intelligence you have adds 7 damage to it, and that's pretty good. It also has a special attack. It is a dragon weapon. It comes from a dragon's tail. The special attack, when you use the strong attack, whether with one hand or 2 hands, sends out like a magic wave that has a lot of impact. It explodes on impact. Has a lot of knockback, is what I meant to say, and will obviously knock people down because of that. So it is a very, very cool weapon. And being that it's a dragon weapon, it takes dragon scales to upgrade, so just thought that I would throw that information there. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. Seath is now dead. That gives us 2 Great Soul bosses done, and I'll see you guys with the 3rd one in my next video. Have a good one.